our table.
The biggest event of the year just got bigger. The Toyotathon of Toyotathons is here, and you can get the deal of all deals on a new Toyota. With savings so good, it's easy to see why Toyota has the best overall value of any brand. Now, lease a new 2009 Toyota Camry LE for $239 a month. That's $239 a month for the best-selling car in America. Don't miss out. Hurry to the Toyotathon of Toyotathons today. Toyota, moving forward.
Using a website to find medical treatments could harm your health. This week, a CBS News special report, Second Opinion, Medicine Online, on the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric. Later, right after CBS 4 News, so stay with us.
That is our news for now. Thank you for joining us. Have a great evening.
We're always on at CBS4.com. We'll see you at 11.
Tonight, most of last week's Wall Street gains wiped out in a single day. And now it's official. We are in a recession. I'm Katie Couric. Also tonight, the Obama National Security Team includes a former rival. Hillary Clinton signs on to be Secretary of State as Barack Obama sets the ground rules.
I'm going to be welcoming a vigorous debate inside the White House. But understand, I will be setting policy.
The Mumbai massacre. 2 Americans tell us how they survived. Barely.
Here's the do not disturb sign, and here's the bullet.
And economic hard times call for some wild and woolly investments.
I've already made at least $15,000 in the first year.
This is the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric.
And good evening, everyone. The signs were everywhere, but now it's official. We are in a recession. The research group that makes that determination made it today and said the recession actually started a year ago. But the question now, when will it end? Wall Street is clearly worried. The Dow plunged nearly 680 points today, or 7.7%. Anthony Mason is our business correspondent. Anthony, last week's big rally is now just a fond memory, isn't it?
Yeah, what the market giveth, the market also taketh away, Katie. Remember that historic 5-day rally, the biggest since 1933? Well, it ran into a bear today, and in one big bite, more than half of those gains were gone. For Wall Street, it was another case of whiplash. The markets haven't been this volatile in almost 80 years. For the past 50 days, the S&P 500 has whipsawed up and down an average of nearly 4% every day. That hasn't happened since the late 1920s.
It's just one of these markets that's just floating back and forth, and we're back on the downside.
The latest slide, nearly 700 points, came as reports showed manufacturing activity hitting a 26-year low last month. And the economy was formally and officially declared in recession. The National Bureau of Economic Research confirmed what many already felt. The recession began last December and may be far from over.
There is no single action the federal government can take to end the financial market turmoil and the economic downturn.
Stocks staged a monster rally last week after President-elect Obama unveiled his new economic team, but the euphoria evaporated today.
So basically, there's a lot of problems out there that even though we have a great team coming in, it's not a magic wand that's going to help this economy.
Many economists now believe this downturn will be the most severe since the recession of the early 1980s, which lasted 16 months and led to 7.5% unemployment and a record number of bank failures. Sounds familiar, Katie.
Yeah, meanwhile, Anthony, the big 3 automakers will be making a second attempt to get a federal bailout this week. Do you think their approach will be any different this time?
Yeah, because Congress wants to know how they're going to spend this $25 billion in bailout monies, and they're expected to present very detailed plans tomorrow, the big 3, as to how they will restructure their businesses to become more competitive. Then all 3 CEOs will be back before Congress later in the week, and you can bet this time they won't be flying in on private jets.
I'm sure. Anthony Mason. Anthony, thank you. The recession officially becomes Barack Obama's problem in 50 days. So does national security. And today he introduced the team that will handle that, beginning with his one-time rival for the Democratic nomination. Chip Reed has the latest on the incoming Obama administration.
Last week, surrounded by his national security team, President-elect Obama declared that it's time for a new dawn of American leadership, beginning with his choice for Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton.
Hillary's appointment is a sign to friend and foe of the seriousness of my commitment to renew American diplomacy and restore our alliances.
That's a far cry from earlier this year when this was his take on her foreign policy judgment.
When it came to making the most important foreign policy decision of our generation, the decision to invade Iraq, Senator Clinton got it wrong.
Today, Mr. Obama dismissed that as the heat of the campaign. But even if they are now reading from the same page, some opponents of the war in Iraq question why Mr. Obama would ask Robert Gates, President Bush's Secretary of Defense, to continue in that position.
I assembled this team because I'm a strong believer in strong personalities and strong opinions. I think that's how the best decisions are made.
Other strong personalities on his national security team include Arizona Governor Janet Napolitano to head the Department of Homeland Security. As a border state governor, she has vast experience on immigration. Prominent Washington attorney Eric Holder should hit the ground running as Attorney General. He was number 2 in the Justice Department under President Clinton. 4-star Marine General James Jones will be Mr. Obama's national security advisor, a Vietnam vet and former commandant of the Marine Corps. And Susan Rice, a close Obama advisor, is to be U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. Mr. Obama made clear that he, not they, will be setting national security policy.
I will be responsible for the vision that this team carries out, and I expect them to implement that vision once decisions are made. So as Harry Truman said, the buck will stop with me.
Mr. Obama offered the State Department job to Hillary Clinton only after her husband, Bill Clinton, agreed to a long list of restrictions on his business activities. He even has to submit his speeches to the State Department for pre-clearance. Katie?
Chip Reed. Chip, thanks very much. The Obama team will be facing a world of challenges, and while the president-elect said today he'll welcome vigorous debate within his administration, he made it clear, as Chip reported, that he will set the policy. More on that policy now from national security correspondent David Martin.
Soft is not a word you would use to describe the people who stood behind the president-elect today.
Good morning,
but soft power is.
Wonderful...
His choice for Secretary of State summed up what that phrase means.
Our security, our values, and our interests cannot be protected and advanced by force alone.
In other words, the American military is a mighty hammer, but not every problem is a nail. You might expect that from the person slated to be America's top diplomat, but you also hear it from the current and future Secretary of Defense.
We must focus our energies beyond the guns and steel of the military.
But agreeing on soft power doesn't mean there won't be hard problems.
Could be some tactical differences involving Clinton or Gates, given the fact that they have taken positions publicly that are at odds with the president's.
Former National Security Advisor Zbigniew Brzezinski cites candidate Obama's pledge to negotiate directly with Iran's leaders, which candidate Clinton dismissed as naive. And there is, as always, Iraq. The president-elect wants all combat troops out in 16 months. Secretary Gates is opposed to deadlines.
These all are fairly significant differences, but they're not the kind of differences that need to impede genuine accommodation once it is clear what the president wants and once National Security Advisor is prepared to act as the enforcer.
That would be retired Marine General Jim Jones. While he was still wearing stars, was one of the first to blow the whistle on the backward slide in Afghanistan.
We're not making progress. We're losing ground.
Strong people with strong views. Remember Defense Secretary Rumsfeld and Secretary of State Powell? A dream team on paper, rivals in practice. Now a new dream team has to prove they really are a team. David Martin, CBS News, the Pentagon.
Turning now to the Mumbai massacre, CBS News has learned that U.S. intelligence officials warned their Indian counterparts in mid-October of a possible terror attack against hotels in Mumbai. The officials say the sophisticated plan had been in the works for 18 months, and there's strong evidence it was carried out by a terrorist group that's received support from Pakistan's intelligence agency. Tonight, new details are emerging about the attack in which more than 170 people were killed, including 6 Americans. From Mumbai, here's Celia Hatton.
10 gunmen brought India's financial capital to its knees last week. This was the beginning of the end for one of the Mumbai attackers, Ajmal Kasab. After being shot by police, he was pulled out of a stolen car and beaten by an angry mob. Kassab is the only known surviving gunman. He told police he belongs to a Pakistani terror organization called Lashkar-e-Taiba, which has murky ties to a group called Deccan Mujahideen, which said it planned the siege. The attackers used boats to get to Mumbai's shore, then wreaked havoc at 10 points across the city. 6 Americans died, but the victims were mostly from India. This 2-year-old's parents, a Brooklyn rabbi and his wife, were tortured and killed in an attack on Nariman House, a Jewish center. When the final gun battle ended at the historic Taj Mahal Hotel, the 105-year-old building was in shambles. When newspaper photographer Sebastian D'Souza heard explosions at Mumbai's main train station, he grabbed his camera and tracked the militants for 45 minutes.
They knew what they're doing. I think they wanted maximum damage because they killed randomly anybody.
India's leaders are pressuring Pakistan to crack down on extremist elements, but locals in Mumbai are angry their government ignored repeated warnings of an imminent attack by sea. India's security forces were initially overwhelmed by the militants.
Other terrorist groups will have watched and observed the success of this terrorist group in this operation.
India doesn't have much time to figure out its security weaknesses. Deccan Mujahideen, the group who first claimed responsibility for the attack, has just sent out a new email warning the city's airport and its highways are its next targets. Celia Hatton, CBS News, Mumbai, India.
A Virginia couple experienced the horror at the Taj Mahal Hotel firsthand. Mac and Jan Taylor were trapped for nearly 2 days as gunshots and explosions echoed outside their room. They had gone to India to celebrate their birthdays, but tonight they are back in Richmond, Virginia. Mr. and Mrs. Taylor, let me start with you, Mr. Taylor. I know that the siege began on what was to be your last day visiting India. You were in your hotel room waiting for your car to take you to the airport. How did things unravel?
Well, it was about 9:30, and the firing started about that time, and so we missed our car, which was going to leave about 11. So called the operator when we heard the firing and wanted to know what was going on. They said the hotel had been attacked by terrorists and to lock our door and stay in the room. So that's what we did.
In fact, you spent 44 hours, nearly 2 full days, trapped in your hotel room. Were you terrified? You must have been. And what kinds of things were you hearing outside your hotel room door?
The noises were really scary. There would, from time to time, be just a huge boom like a bomb. I guess it was grenades, really. And so that was the most frightening part. And then it would be quiet for a long period.
I understand that one of the bullets actually pierced your hotel room door.
Yes. Every time there was an explosion out in the hall, I'd open the door just a little bit, and about the 4th time I opened it, I startled some person out in the hall, slammed the door real fast and locked it, and about that time he fired at the door, and it missed me by about 6 inches.
I understand you have a souvenir from that experience, in fact, because the bullet pierced your Do Not Disturb sign?
Yes, it did.
Can you show it to me?
Sure. Here's the Do Not Disturb sign, and here's the bullet that we found in the drawer of the dresser next to the door. But after it was all over, they took us to the police station, and the American consul picked us up. And of course, when I got to the consul and saw the American flag, I had to salute it. I was really glad to see that flag.
Well, Mac Taylor and Jan Taylor, thank you both so much for talking with us. And again, we're just so happy that you're home safe and sound.
Well, thank you for taking the time to interview us. Thank you.
Incidentally, while trapped in their room, the Taylors did manage to eat a bit, mostly mixed nuts and orange juice from their minibar. Coming up next on the CBS Evening News, athletes and guns. A Super Bowl star is the latest to face charges after accidentally shooting himself.
Irene, drop the edge. We dropped the itch.
Maximum Strength Scalpicin stops intense scalp itch fast, helps you heal.
I dropped the itch.
Free yourself from embarrassing scalp itch. Drop the itch with Scalpicin.
This fiber, I'd had my fill. Then I found Miralax. Miralax relieves constipation with no bloating, no excess gas, no taste, no grit. You'll see, it's clearly different.
Restore your body's natural rhythm with Miralax.
I never thought I would have a heart attack.
but I did. You need to talk to your doctor about aspirin. You need to be your own advocate.
Be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen.
You take care of your kids. Now it's time to take care of yourself.
For the price of a night in, how about a night out? Introducing Applebee's 2 for $20 menu. One great appetizer to share, 2 amazing entrees, and lots of choice. Applebee's 2 for $20, the best deal in the neighborhood.
I always thought calcium and vitamin D and exercise would keep my bones healthy. But I got osteoporosis anyway, so my doctor started me on once monthly Boniva. And he told me something important. Boniva works with your body to help stop and reverse bone loss. My test results proved I was able to stop and reverse my bone loss with Boniva. And studies show after 1 year on Boniva, 9 out of 10 women did too.
Don't take Boniva if you have low blood calcium, severe kidney disease, or can't sit or stand for at least 1 hour. Follow dosing instructions carefully. Stop taking Boniva and tell your doctor if you have difficult or painful swallowing, chest pain, or severe or continuing heartburn, as these may be signs of serious upper digestive problems. If severe bone, joint, and/or muscle pain develops, tell your doctor.
I've got this one body and this one life, so I wanted to stop my bone loss. But I did more than that. I reversed it with Boniva. Ask your doctor if Boniva is right for you.
Boniva helps stop and reverse bone loss.
Today I found out that my funny bone is sick and that my drug plan's monthly premium changed. So I compared other plans and found similar coverage at a better price.
Now's the time to review and compare Medicare prescription drug plans. And from November 15th to December 31st, you can even change your plan. Call 1-800-MEDICARE or go to Medicare.gov and use the Plan Finder to see options in your state.
Your funny bone is better now.
And so is my prescription drug plan.
NFL star Plexico Burress is free on bail after being charged today with weapons possession here in New York. Burress accidentally shot himself in a nightclub over the weekend. Now he could face prison time and possibly lose a big chunk of his $35 million contract. As our chief investigative correspondent Armin Katayan reports, Burress is just the latest athlete to get in trouble over guns.
For New York Giant wide receiver Plexico Burress, this game-winning catch in last season's Super Bowl stood as the highlight of a big play career marred by a me-first attitude, suspensions, and fines.
Here he is.
Today, Burress was back in the limelight, surrendering to authorities at this Manhattan police station. The latest twist in a bizarre shooting scandal that has set the tabloids aflame and reignited the issue of athletes and guns.
Mr. Burress is a serious professional athlete in a difficult legal situation, and he intends to handle it in a responsible fashion.
For Burress, it all began inside this New York nightclub late last Friday night when, believe it or not, he accidentally shot himself through the thigh with a semi-automatic pistol. According to published reports, Burress was carrying the unlicensed weapon for protection, the gun going off after it began slipping down the inside of his sweatpants, and Burress fumbled while trying to reach it. A bleeding Burress then reportedly tried to cover it all up, frantically passing the pistol off to teammate Antonio Pierce, asking nightclub employees not to alert authorities before checking into this hospital under an assumed name. Police are said to be investigating Pierce and the hospital for failure to report the shooting. In the last 3 years, more than 24 professional athletes have been involved in gun-related charges. Attorney David Cornwell represents several high-profile players.
Certainly, they find themselves in situations where there's a potential of risk. Whether or not that necessarily follows to the need to carry a gun, I think that's a personal decision.
Burress, who today pleaded not guilty to felony charges of criminal possession of a handgun, reportedly joked about the shooting with a teammate. But there's nothing funny about a potential prison sentence or the end of a star-crossed career. Armin Katayan, CBS News, New York.
A belated tribute today for Senator Edward Kennedy. He received an honorary degree from Harvard, his alma mater, during a special assembly. Kennedy was supposed to get the degree at commencement in June, but he was recovering from brain surgery. The senator was praised for his lifelong commitment to public service.
So we're looking for the best catchphrase for crest whitening expressions. So where's the other judge?
Yowzers! Yes. Have you? Oh, this is fresh. Oh, right. Oh, that's good.
If you think all batteries are the same, consider this. These Duracell batteries were given to the Mattel Children's Hospital, UCLA, because when it comes to kids and healing, you're not just powering a toy, you're powering a smile. Duracell, trusted everywhere.
I'm Mark Goldston, Chairman and CEO of Net Zero. All internet providers take you to the same internet, so why pay more to get there? Net Zero is only $9.95 a month, and we give you a 30-day money-back guarantee. Call 1-800-NET-ZERO or visit netzero.com.
I use stock for all my meat dishes. And here at home, that means new Swanson stock. It keeps the meat juicy and brings out the natural flavors.
So if you want to cook like Chef Christopher Lee, cook with new Swanson stock.
When you eat Kashigo Lean for breakfast, you also have to swallow all these vitamins and minerals to get what you need every day. Or eat Total. Total has 100% daily value of 11 vital nutrients and delicious flakes with real cranberries and crunchy oat clusters. Total. Are you getting 100%?
Headaches know when your body is stressed, tired, and running on empty. Tylenol Rapid Release Gels work with your body to silence headache pain fast by releasing medicine fast. So you feel better, knowing headaches can end as quickly as they start. Feel better. Tylenol.
And here's 3 reasons why. 1, our fuel-efficient lineup will save you money. 2, quality. Honda received top honors from J.D. Power's most recent quality survey. And 3, our President's Award means you not only get the best price, but a great buying experience.
Here at Holman, get a Holman deal. It's not just a Honda, it's a Holman Honda.
If retailers had their way, you spend part of your day shopping online. The retailers call it Cyber Monday, the beginning of the online holiday shopping season. The in-store season started Friday, and the word is 172 million shoppers visited both stores and websites over the weekend and spent, on average, $373, up more than 7% from last year. Michelle Miller reports from the front lines.
This morning, bargain hunter Randy Buser snagged some of the record-breaking discounts available online this season.
Okay, so we've saved up to 70% online.
She'd already made a dent in her Christmas list at bargain prices.
We bought a Barbie Jeep, and we bought a vacuum cleaner.
Vacuum cleaner?
Yeah, we needed a new one, and it was a really good deal.
Retailers bet deep discounts of 30 to 70% would drive customers to spend. And they did. According to ShopperTrack, consumers spent $16.6 billion on Black Friday and Saturday, nearly 2% more than they did last year. According to the National Retail Federation, total sales for the 4-day holiday weekend were at $41 billion, up from $34.6 billion in 2007.
That $500 last year, this year is worth $800 to $1,000 because of all the terrific bargains we have.
Almost every merchant had some kind of discount or incentive just for Cyber Monday.
Are there better deals online?
There's better deals, there's more of them.
Mark Lavelle founded BillMeLater.com, a payment processing site that also tracks deals and promotions online.
We're seeing 5 times more promotions from our merchants to consumers than we did last year. And those deals are getting updated every day.
But retail analyst Craig Rowley says there's a downside to all those bargain racks.
Discounts are greater than ever. So retailers are struggling for every sale they can get and at the same time getting less profit.
Most experts say the Thanksgiving holiday bounce did little to recoup the reduced consumer spending so far this year. And Katie, to make matters worse, there are 5 fewer shopping days than usual between now and Christmas.
All right, Michelle Miller looking very Christmassy tonight. Thanks, Michelle. Coming up next, knitting her nest egg. She's invested her life savings in, yes, alpacas.
Using a website to find medical treatments could harm your health. Starting Wednesday, a CBS News special report, Second Opinion, Medicine Online, on the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric.
Mom knew I needed calcium from day one. Now I'm the mom, and I know 80% of us don't get enough calcium from food. Our bodies can steal it from our bones. Give yourself some TLC, Tender Loving Caltrate, and give TLC to somebody you love.
Faster, Grandma!
Yes, Advil. I used to take different pain relievers for different pains. Is there a better way? Yes, Advil. Nothing works better. Nothing works on more pains. Yes, Advil.
When my wife started forgetting things, the doctor said it could be Alzheimer's. I didn't want to believe it, but that night at the bowling alley...
Where's Alice? Oh, there she is. She seems a little confused.
That's when I knew. I couldn't wait. Our doctor told us prescription Aricept is the only treatment proven effective for all stages of Alzheimer's. Studies showed Aricept slows the progression of symptoms. It improves cognition and slows the decline of overall function.
Aricept is well tolerated, but not for everyone. People at risk for stomach ulcers or who take certain other medicines should tell their doctors because serious stomach problems such as bleeding may get worse. Some people may experience fainting. Some people may have nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, bruising, or not sleep well. Some people may have muscle cramps or loss of appetite, or may feel tired. In studies, these were usually mild and temporary.
We really love this place. Talk to your doctor about Alzheimer's treatments, including Aricept. Don't wait. Alzheimer's isn't waiting.
Meet Erica. Grand Poobah of pasta. Chancellor of cheese. Connoisseur of coal. She keeps her ingredients in Glad bags. They're designed to grip with tall tabs and lots of ridges.
Amazing.
So it's easy for her to help keep food fresh and handy.
Easy.
Go easy. Get Glad.
I'm an eye doctor and a patient. For my type of chronic dry eye, over-the-counter drops aren't enough. So I also use what I prescribe for many of my patients, Restasis. It's the only prescription eye drop to help increase tear production, which may be reduced by inflammation due to chronic dry eye. Restasis shouldn't be used by patients with active eye infections and hasn't been studied in patients with a history of herpes viral infections of the eye. The most common side effect is a temporary burning sensation. Ask your eye doctor if Restasis is right for you. It is for me.
You can't see it or smell it, and before you know it, it turns deadly. Carbon monoxide, the new warning signs, how you can protect your family. Thursday on The Early Show.
Finally tonight, the market meltdown has a lot of people looking for new places to invest their money, which brings us to a woman in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Kelly Wallace reports she found an investment that's almost unheard of. A herd of alpacas.
A dog may be man's best friend, but Peggy Parks would rather have an alpaca. The 49-year-old's future is riding on these llama lookalikes.
So do your friends think you're crazy?
My friends do think I'm crazy.
Sick of watching her retirement savings move in the wrong direction.
I've lost almost half of my 401k.
A year ago, Parks, a building code auditor, decided to start breeding the furry and low-maintenance creatures from South America.
With alpacas, it's something tangible that you have in your hand. It's always going to be there.
She made the unconventional investment after learning how robust the alpaca business can be. Alpacas are in high demand because their fleece is used in high-end clothing, and a breeding female can fetch upwards of $15,000. Peggy's initial $56,000 investment for 7 animals has already paid off with 2 new baby alpacas.
As you can see, with a male and a female, I've already made at least $15,000 in the first year.
Wow, that's a pretty nice return on any business, right?
That's a nice return.
Turning to tangible assets like alpacas is nothing new. Investors did the same thing during previous market downturns, and they didn't always come out ahead.
Travel to parts of Texas, and there's a good chance you'll run into an emu. Breeding them for their lean meat was all the rage in the 90s, but when the investors lost their shirts, the birds were set free.
Research. Everybody should do their research.
3 years ago, Peggy didn't even know what an alpaca was, but after doing her homework, she's betting her retirement on them.
You see the pumpkins.
Kelly Wallace, CBS News, Johnstown, Pennsylvania.
They're cute. And that is the CBS Evening News for tonight. I'm Katie Couric. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
ultimate gift deserves the ultimate offer. Now at Vista BMW. BMW X3 3.0 SI. $288 a month. That's $288 a month. 0.9% financing and sign and drive leases available now. Only at Vista BMW.
Imagine a world where your lost dog can text you to tell you his location. Where thieves alert you by text message and email when they take your car. Where your team driver always remembers to let you know she's arrived safely. Introducing ZoomBack Personal GPS Locators. See how it works at zoomback.com. Available at these fine retailers.
New Britney back on stage and breaking down in tears. Kirsten Dunst's stalker arrest, Ruby at the gym, and Tina Fey's sexy side. E.T. and HD is next.
The ultimate gift deserves the ultimate offer. Now at Vista BMW. BMW 328i sedans, $288 a month. That's $288 a month. 0.9% financing and sign and drive leases available now. Only at Vista BMW.
Entertainment Tonight and The Insider in high definition.
Britney's Wild Weekend. Back on stage, out at a club, on the red carpet.
I love being here in London. It's awesome.
Plus, inside her private world with her boys, hounded by the paparazzi and breaking down in tears. I'm sad. Then is Kirsten Dunst being stalked. The arrest, the restraining order. E.T. breaks the story of several terrifying incidents at her Hollywood Hills home.
Real or rumor? Did Mark Helgenberger and her husband just split? Did Ivana Trump's new husband get caught kissing another woman? Is her marriage over? Then, Tina Fey, playful and sexy. Dancing in a little black dress and showing some skin for Vanity Fair. Plus, the frightening story behind her scar.
Reality TV's Ruby heads to the gym.
They had turnstiles and I cannot get in it.
Determined to drop hundreds of pounds, but is her workout too much?
I'm sitting there going, okay, pray and God, do not let me have a heart attack.
Brad Pitt's labor of love in New Orleans.
What you see here is an exercise in zero waste.
Now, the amazing results. And your first look at Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock in the buff.
Oh my God!
Naked!
Why are you wet?
Now, the most watched entertainment news magazine in the world.
Your hour of entertainment news with E.T. and The Insider in high definition begins right now. Hello, everybody. I'm Mary Hart.
And I'm Mark Steinis.
Britney's Wild Weekend caught on tape. We are there for the European invasion and the paparazzi madness that always follows the pop princess.